Here we have the all-new 2023 Hyundai IONIQ 6. This one comes in the SEL trim level with rear-wheel drive, the long-range battery, so that gets you 77.4 kilowatt hours. And then this one with the 20-inch wheels, you get an EPA estimated 305 miles per charge. And we have the beautiful curated silver with black H-Tex interior. But coming around to the front end here, we have LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. And the lights don't flash or change colors like that. That's just how the camera's picking them up. But love the look personally. You either love it or hate it in terms of the styling. But these 20s look fantastic, especially just with the shape of the car and everything. Makes it look super slick. But we get passive keyless entry on the front. And I love the minimalistic door panel here. Just the door in general. That's really all you have. And then storage, bottle holder. You can just, that's a grab handle pretty much. And then over here you have your power mirror control. So right side, left side, and you can offset in the middle and adjust either side. Then you have an electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Brightness for the gauge cluster. We have a power lift gate, which is awesome. And then we have the charge port, which we can open here or from the back itself. And then traction controls there. We'll go ahead and see what's under the hood later. And then we do have a manual tilt telescope steering wheel. And here's our power driver seat with two-way power lumbar support. And love the design that they have stitched in there. But huge shout out to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this car. I'll leave a link below to it as well as their entire inventory in the description below. But you can pause anywhere you need to just take a look at the window sticker here. And this one stickers right at $49,250. But you do get that 800 volt charging infrastructure. So just love that about these cars. But let's go ahead and take a look at the back seat room. I have the seat up front just for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. And the room is so impressive. They did a great job with this interior, just making it roomy. Seat back, netted seat back pockets on both sides. But this room is crazy. I only have about ½ an inch to an inch of headroom, but leg room is absolutely fantastic. So great job to Hyundai there. And the middle seat folds down, cup holders are here. Hanger hook here, we could probably hang 2 hangers there, no problem. So I like how they did that hook. Let's look at these dome lights. And those look like those are gonna be LED and they look fantastic. So glad they didn't try and be cheap there. USB-C fast charge ports are here. AC vents for the rear. Little storage pocket there. But just impressed with the room. Again, fantastic. Let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. Now again, this is something you either love or hate. Looking at this back end here, we do get LED taillights. And again, me personally, I love the styling. Just looks fantastic. Now again, you can pop it from the front or click that button there. And the storage here is interesting. I feel like it's long enough, but the space itself is not really tall. But again, not really a big deal for me. But we have the tire mobility kit here. So you don't have a spare with this. Then you have a little bit of storage underneath there. So that's where the charger is. So you can either put that there or find another place to put it. And this one also has the optional cargo net as well. And then you can actually pull it and it'll start closing by itself if you forget to use the button like I just did. So pretty impressive. Now for the charge port, again, you can open that from the front or just click right there. And then we do have that DC fast charge capability. And I think that'll get you like 233 kilowatts max charge speed. I have to double check that, but I'll leave the specs in the description if I can. And And this seat folds flat when you pull that lever behind you. Top tethers are up there. And pretty easy to fold back. And if you need your anchors, they're hidden back in there. And then to this front passenger seat, this one is going to be 6-way manual. And then glove compartment, actually pretty decent size, goes deep back in there. And then I love how the vents are integrated here. And again, you kind of have that IONIQ styling there. And then you do have nice space underneath here with a 12-volt. So I think the interior here is just, again, it was smart how it was done, in my opinion. The background of the front here, see if we can get this hood open. So it's a little bit going on here, but small storage pocket if you want to put some loose things around here that you don't want going all over the place and you want to keep them separate. So it's nice you have a little bit of storage. But let's go ahead and make our way back to the driver's seat. So I love the steering wheel here. Leather wrap feels nice. And I'll show you about these illuminated dots here in a minute because they do something pretty neat. But over here to the screen, we have our home page here. And I like this electric vehicle kind of screen because it shows you your distance that you have left on the battery, whether you keep the AC on, turn it off, percentage, closest charging station. So that's neat. Navigation systems here, and then it's pretty easy to type in a destination and you can either immediately go to the EV charging stations, it'll show you all of those, then it shows you their AC, DC, all of that, or you can type in a destination. Of course you can use voice recognition as well. So if I say,
please say the POI name or address you want to find.
Walmart, it'll pull up all the destinations that are actually within driving distance to me. So a neat system. Then you have the navigation menu here. You can set all those settings there. Now we do get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth audio. And then we have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. And then I can go through all those settings there. Now for the climate controls, you can kind of go through some of the stuff here. So you can toggle your heat, the 3-stage auto mode there, set it to driver only, and then you can control fan direction. And I like that they actually did all this here, but for me, it's easier to just use the buttons and knobs down below so I can adjust that. And then go through the heated seat functions here. And then fan direction here. So I like to do it that way, but it's pretty cool on the screen as well. And once you get used to it, you might find that easier. But settings here, vehicle settings are gonna be right in here. So driver assistance, you can set all of that. Drive modes, you can customize some of those. And then the biggest thing here, what a lot of people always ask me about is date and time is right in here if you need to change that. I don't know why I hit the back button. And then language, you can change that there. And then if you want to change it from US to metric system, you can change your tire pressure units, temperature units, as well as your distance. So pretty neat. Now for the backup camera, you do have guidelines that follow you as you turn the steering wheel. Not the best picture, but gets the job done. And the sensors show up over there on the right side. Hazards are here. Now this is volume, you can mute there. And then you have quick shortcuts, so favorites, and then this is actually a tune knob. So I like this. You could just toggle through your radio stations by doing that. And then of course you can pull up your camera, the touch of a button, and toggle your parking sensors with the touch of a button as well. Wireless charging pads there. You have a USB-A charge port as well. 2 cup holders. Power door lock controls are here. And then you have one-touch automatic up and down windows for the front, regular power windows for the back. Then you have the window lock there, automatic brake hold here. And then you have 2 USB-C fast charge ports in the center console cubby space. And there are the dome lights there. And these are actually soft touch as well, so I like that. And here's a view of the back seat from up here. Now, over here we have the smart cruise control here. We can use this to go through our sub-menus in the gauge cluster, and then we can use the scroll bar when applicable to go through our actual sub-menus themselves. And then we can adjust the gap adjust for the smart cruise, lane centering there. Now this is what I find pretty neat, and it's a small thing, but it's still cool. So for the drive modes, when I adjust them, watch these 4 lights. So that's normal mode, turns red for sport, and then turns green for eco. So super neat, in my opinion. And then over here we have voice recognition controls. You can set up this mode button and it'll go through your volume, or go through your audio. And then you can scroll volume here, mute by clicking that, and go through your track list or radio station presets there. And then you have a favorites button you can set up, a Bluetooth control. And then your regenerative braking, you can maximize it there or minimize it with that right paddle. And then our headlamp controls are here. There's your auto, and then in auto you can toggle your auto high beams, and at that top part of the gauge cluster you can see where it goes on and off. And then regular high beams, you could just toggle those on and then click back to turn them off, and then you can flash that way. Blinkers. And then windshield wiper controls, one time, intermittent low, high, and you can adjust your intermittent here. And then pull up here for the front wiper fluid. And then for the shifter, kind of hard to see in there. Pull down for reverse, and then pull up for drive, tap down for neutral, but don't pull all the way, and then press there for park. And then we have our push button start here. And finally, this is our key fob, which is interesting in my opinion, but you do get remote start with it, so. And I almost forgot the garage door transmitters right here. But now onto the fun part. Let's go ahead and take this 2023 IONIQ 6 out on the road for a test drive. So starting this test drive in the IONIQ 6, can't say enough about how nice the interior is. Just in terms of, again, it's a minimalist interior, but also it's extremely roomy and extremely capable in terms of having the heated seats. All this space here, the screen is within arm's reach for me, but if you can't reach that, a lot of the controls are easier to reach down here, and then you have pretty much everything you need at the steering wheel as well. It just makes a lot of sense. And the regenerative braking, the system itself to me is one of the best ones out there, just because you have basically 4 levels of regen, with one of them being a 1-pedal drive system, which is pretty spot on just in terms of how it works. You let your foot off the throttle and you're not feeling a lot of lurking or anything. It's just consistent for the most part. But ride quality wise, it's actually pretty good to me. And like most of the Hyundais, it's just, the ride's solid. It's not necessarily smooth, but it's also not bouncy either. And I don't even want to say it's not smooth, because it's certainly more smooth than it is bouncy. The suspension is quite impressive. But I've been driving in normal mode, so I want to see how it puts power down when I put it into the sport mode. I keep trying to turn the knob, but you press the button. Have a little bit of space here. And here we go. So it doesn't throw you back in your seat, but of course it's an EV, so it's pretty good. I'm gonna put it in the eco mode now. Turn on the smart cruise. And then lane centering here. just adjust the gap. And then we have that hands-free driving. But it's a pretty good system. But again, that ride quality was great for an EV. And I definitely could see myself taking this on longer road trips. Comparing that to the Mustang Mach-E that I have, it's much more tame. The ride is, I feel like the seats are a bit more comfortable, but still quite supportive. And I just like the driving dynamics overall. It's not necessarily sporty, but you definitely feel it tense up when you put it into that sport mode. But for the price point, I think this is a pretty solid option, especially being under 50 grand MSRP. Now, you don't get the EV tax credit with the IONIQ 6, but you're certainly getting a lot of bang for your buck, in my opinion. Especially having the lane keep system, the adaptive cruise. You're not having to pay extra for a super cruise, blue cruise, any of that. And it's just, you get good range as well. Now, in terms of competition, depending on how you look at it, this could either be a Model 3 or I think a Model S competitor. But then pretty much every other EV that's out right now, even if you want to consider the Mercedes EQE or anything that Toyota has, the new BMWs, all of that is really in the same segment because everybody is bringing their A game. It's really just, I think, how expensive the parts are that are being used. And I think this IONIQ 6 is a great bargain because it has the looks to compete with any other EV on the market. I think it has the range to compete with any other EV out on the market. And it certainly has a price point that allows you to get into EVs without breaking the bank for maybe an EQS or a Lucid or even a Tesla. Again, $50,000 for what you get is definitely a good deal for this car, in my opinion. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Hyundai IONIQ 6.